Hi everyone and welcome to a book haul. This one's just a little different. I've got the camera angled Ophelia, Spoofy, my Spoofy girl, Ophi, whatever. Got a bunch of nicknames for her, but she's taking a nap there. Oh, she's heard her name. Head is popping up. She's gonna resettle, might look outside. Anyway, so I thought I'd keep her in frame while she is there, but when I hold things up, she'll probably get covered. So, I went to the library today. I have filmed a separate haul, which I think I'm going to call Library Checkout Haul. This one, it will be like my library, as well, you'll see it from the title, but as of right now, today is the 30th, Tuesday. I'm thinking I'm going to label this one Library Book Sale Haul. There was a spring sale. Normally hardbacks are $1 and paperbacks are 50 cents, but today for their spring sale at my library, hardbacks were 50 cents and paperbacks were 25 cents. So I have this bag, oh my heck, full. There's I think 14 books in here. $4. $4. So I am curious as to, if I were to get these on Amazon, what I would have spent over a course of time. Obviously this is going to be before taxes, so I will look up the price on like Amazon, and I will get, if I have a paperback, I'll make sure I tell you what the paperback price is. If I have the hardback, I'll find the hardback on Amazon. Unless they don't have the hardback as an option, then obviously I'll go with the paperback. Where is my Amazon app? There it is. Okay. Ready to go. Let's see. All right. And then I have to log these in Goodreads so that I know I have them. Okay. These are going to be in no particular order other than the fact that I think I'll do the paperback first just because of how this bag is sitting. I'll just grab the paperback first. So, on top of my stack, I have Rayne and Delilah's Midnight Matinee. Let's see, this one says, I don't know who watches Midnight Matinee or why. I mean, I have some idea from letters we get. It's a very niche crowd. Most of all, it's people who love to be reminded that sometimes you do your best and you come up short. But there's still a place in the world for people like that, people like them. It's comforting to know that you don't have to be excellent to not be completely forgotten. One thing I will say too, with the library sale, there was like one or two other books that I thought about getting, but they were like the second, third, or later on in the series, so I did not pick those ones up. So these are all of these. I checked them while I was there before I took them to the counter to pay for them. These are all either the first book in a series or they are standalones. So, yeah. Okay. Moving over to Amazon, let's find this book, the paperback version. Okay, Rayne, I'm guessing I'm saying that right. Okay, paperback version is $11.99. $11.99. Obviously, this is before taxes, and state taxes in Utah are going to be different than other states within the United States. So, $11.99 pre-tax for this book. Okay, next up. All right, next up, I don't know what I was doing there, messing with my phone. I have At Summer's End. I love the cover of this. I like these older fashioned covers. This gives me very much historical fiction vibes. It just says this was a reader's choice. I guess they had extra copies. It looks fairly new. When was this? Copyright 2021. So the fact that this is already in, it's either not doing really well, it's not doing well in circulation, or they just have too many copies. Maybe they expected more people to want to read them. I've got another one like that in here. Anyway, written by Courtney Ellis. So let's see, and I don't know what these are about. I did not read the synopsis while I was there, so I'm finding out what these are about with you now. Some of these I recognize from, I either checked them out from the library before, like there's one I checked out. I'll get to that one. I will get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's find out what this one's about. It says, Alberta Preston accepts the commission of a lifetime when she receives an invitation from the Earl of Wakeford to spend a summer painting at his lordship's country home. Castle Braymore is the name of the home. Okay. Bertie imagines, holy cow, imaginings. That's what I was going to say. Okay, Birdie imagines her residence at the prodigious estate will finally enable her to embark on a professional career and prove her worth as an artist, regardless of her gender. That does tell me it's historical fiction, because that was something that women had to fight for. A lot was being recognized despite the fact that you're women and not being treated less than and everything. So anyway, and I find that fascinating. I love hearing stories about women overcoming that. Continuing on with the synopsis, it says, upon her arrival, however, Birdie finds the opulent Braymore and its inhabitants diminished by the Great War. I wonder what war. Okay. Well, it says the Great War, so it's the Great War. I don't know anything about that war. Anyway, okay. The Earl has been living in isolation since returning from the trenches, locked away in his rooms and hiding battling scars behind a prosthetic mask. While his younger siblings eagerly welcome Birdie into their world, she soon chips in that world's guided facade. As she and the Earl develop an unexpected bond, Birdie becomes deeply entangled in the pain and secrets she discovers, hidden within Castle Braymore and the hearts of his residents. I think that sounds good. I have not, the Great War does not sound familiar to me. If I studied that in high school during like world history, it was glossed over. Like World War I was talked about more, but World War II more so. And I think because World War II is the most recent World War, yeah, so at least when I went, anyway, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know really anything about the Great War. Or I was absent on the days or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a history buff, and I'm very particular. I like to learn about history, but it has to be done in a certain way. Otherwise, it's very much like a textbook, and then it's like a snooze fest. I don't like that. So anyway, okay, this next paperback book. Oh, wait. Reverse. I've got to look up on what the cost of At Summer's End is. At Summer's End by Courtney Ellis. Paperback version is $14.49. Okay. Moving on. This next one. So I had like over 20 books checked out from the library. I've renewed them, and I'm out of renewals for them. So I had to return them, and I could have turned around and checked them back out if there were no holds. But I thought, you know what? Let them get put back on the shelves, and then eventually I'll get back to them. So, or they'll end up in the book sale, and hopefully I'll see them and get them. So anyway, and that's the case with this one. This one was a reader's choice at the library. I mean, this is like perfect condition. I don't see any damage to this, and there's some that do get damage that they don't want to have it on there. So I think this is the one where they had extra copies or whatever the reason is. But this is a newer, I mean, this just came out September of 2021. And this is one that I had checked out in my previous one where I had like over 20 books, and I had not gotten to it. And so now I can get to it, and I don't have to worry about returning it to the library or renewing it or anything. And that particular book is called Stolen Earth by J.T. Nicholas. So, and this is a science fiction. It has a science fiction sticker there. Let's see. Now this one I do remember reading the synopsis about, but that was like several months ago, so I don't remember what this is about. So I need a reminder, and then I'll just forget by the time I get to this one. So it says, environmental disasters and AI armies have caused the human population of Earth to flee. They lie scattered across space stations and colonies, overcrowded and suffering. The Earth is cut off by the interdiction zone, a network of satellites that prevents any escape from the planet. The incredible cost of maintaining it has crippled humanity, who struggle under the totalitarian yoke of the sole Commonwealth government. Many have been driven to the edge of society, taking any work offered, criminal and otherwise, in order to survive. Yep. Okay. The crew of the Arcus are just such people. Through the interdiction zone, a world of priceless artifacts awaits. Provided anyone is crazy enough to make the run. Man, okay. What with fuel running low and creed accounts even lower, or cred accounts. I don't know which way that one goes. I'll say cred, I guess. Cred accounts, like you've got street cred. That's what I'm thinking. Cred accounts even lower. The Arcus's survival might depend on taking the job. Yet on arrival on Earth, the crew discovers that what remains of the world is not as they have been told, and the truth may bring the entire Soul Commonwealth tumbling down. Yes! I love books where the government can topple. Love those. Okay, looking that one up, let's see what the paperback version costs. Stolen Earth. I think it's starting to sprinkle just a little bit. J.T. Nichols. Paperback version is, oh, it's telling me what the Kindle is. Paperback is $14.49. Okay, adding that. And keep in mind, I only paid $4 for all of these books I'm going to show you. Okay, next one I have is, this is a young adult fiction. It does have YF, and it is 99 Days by Katie Cotungo? I know I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Anyway, I do have another book by this author in here. I just don't know where it is. So this author will pop up again. I think it's a hardback is the one I have. Yeah. The other one I have is a hardback, so we'll get to that one later. So, 99 Days, One Summer, Two Brothers, An Impossible Choice. Okay. Now, I cannot read you what day one says because the sticker, the barcode that they've marked so that I know that it's on sale, is covering it. Anyway, I see the word Star Lake, Patrick Donnelly's heart, his brother Gabe, and eggs. And Julia Donnelly. So, okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the synopsis, which starts with day 4. And it says, a nasty note on my windshield makes it clear Julia isn't finished. I'm expecting to fight when someone taps me on the shoulder, but it's just Gabe, home from college and actually happy to see me. For what it's worth, Molly Barlow, he says, I'm really glad you're back. Day 12. Gabe wouldn't quit till he got me to come to this party, and I'm surprised to find I'm actually having fun. I think he's about to kiss me, and that's when I see Patrick, my Patrick, who's supposed to be clear across the country. Oh, got a love triangle. Okay. My Patrick, who's never going to forgive me. 87 days of summer to go, and history is repeating itself. The last thing I want is to come between the Donnelly brothers again, but the truth is, the Donnellys stole my heart a long time ago. So, okay, summer romance, love triangle. Okay, oh, let's look that one up. I keep wanting to move on because I'm excited about these books. Okay, 99 Days. And that paperback is $11.99. Oh, shoot. Hold up, I hit a button, screwed stuff up on my calculator. I gotta fix it. Hang on. Alright. I've got that fixed. Okay. Do you hear the plane? A little weirded out, aren't you? Yeah, they fly low over here. Anyway, this next one is a cozy mystery, and I love this cover, and I really enjoy cozy mysteries, so I'm very happy with this one. Mambo. Alright, angle is going to be just a little different, more than likely. We had someone show up, and so dogs were going nuts, so I had to wait until these people that came over were gone because it was noisy, so, which is fine. So let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, the next book that I started to show and then everything just kind of hit the fan is Mambo, and Murder by Raquel V. Reyes. I can tell from the cover and the title, this is a cozy mystery. It says this is a Caribbean kitchen mystery, and it says right up here, cozy mystery. So, okay, this one says, food anthropologist Miriam Kinwone Quinones Smiths move from New York to Coral Shores, Miami, puts her academic career on hold to stay at home with her young son. Adding to her funk is an opinionated mother-in-law and a husband rekindling a friendship with his ex. Oh, that's not good. That just makes me leery. In a book, I go, that's not good. That's going to lead to some affair, I think. Would not surprise me. Gracias to her best friend, Alma. Oh, so thanks to her best friend. Okay. Gracias to her best friend, Alma. She gets a short-term job as a Caribbean. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? I've heard it pronounced both ways, and I don't know what the actual true way is. So, Caribbean is what I'm going to say. She gets a short-term job as a Caribbean cooking expert on a Spanish-language morning TV show. But when the newly minted star attends a women's club luncheon, a socialite sitting at her table suddenly falls face first into the chicken salad, never to nibble again. Okay. When a second woman dies soon after, suspicions coalesce around a controversial Cuban herbalist, Dr. Fuentes, especially after the morning show host collapses while interviewing him. Detective Pullman is not happy to find Miriam at every turn. After he catches her breaking into the doctor's apothecary, he enlists her help as eyes and ears to the places he can't access, namely the Spanish-speaking community and the tawny Coral Shores social scene. Mouthful. That is a mouthful to say. As the ingredients to the deadly scheme begin blending together, Miriam is on the verge of learning how and why the women died, but her snooping may turn out to be a recipe for her own murder. So, Mango, Mambo, and Murder. All right, let's look this one up. Mango, Mambo. If I can spell Mambo. All right, here we go. Paperback version is $17.86. So adding that to my total. Okay. And then I'm going to have to go through and add these all to Goodreads so I know that I've got them and don't end up doing a double purchase. So, all right. Next up, I have a mass market paperback. This one was purchased from Thrift Books because it's a Thrift Books. Well, at some point, there is a Thrift Books sticker, but then there's also the County Library sticker as well. But this one is Miss Grimley's Oxford Career by Carla Kelly. This author sounds kind of familiar. Anyway, it says, beautiful and brilliant, Miss Ellen Grimsley considers it a scandal that she cannot attend Oxford simply because she's female. While a dashing dunderhead like her older brother, Gordon, is perfectly free to pursue the education of her dreams. That's why Miss Grimley sees nothing wrong with donning her brother's robes to do his work for him, even though she knows society would reel in shock at the merest hint of such a notion. But an even greater scandal looms for this unconventional heroine when a charming Shakespearean scholar learns her secret. Now she's in for some lessons in an entirely different subject, love. So, Miss Grimley's Oxford Career by Carla Kelly. That actually sounds pretty good. Okay, let's see. And it says this is a Whitney Award winner, Best Romance, Borrowed Light. I don't know what that means, but let's see if this is available on Amazon and what that would be. Miss Grimley's Oxford Career. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, so paperback is $11.45, but because this one's a mass market paperback, I'm going to go with that cost, which is $8.99. So let's add that to the running total. Okay. Next up, I'm just going to get the rest of these paperbacks out. So I have a total of 4 more paperbacks. So 8 more books to tell you about. 4 paperbacks, 4 hardbacks. So continuing with the paperbacks, I have Perfect Set, Game On by Melanie Jacobson. So that is the cover, thin book. Bree Mercer is an ambitious sports reporter who has risen through the ranks to land her dream job, basking in the sun, sea, and seriously cute guys in her new singles ward. That tells me this is a Christian fiction. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, probably. Yes, the publisher is covenant-lds.com. So, okay, cool beans. All right, singles ward. Things can be better. Okay, here we go. That is, until she's assigned to write a feature on the one person she can't stand, professional beach volleyball player Cade Townsend, a typical cocky athlete. Cade's previous attempt to woo her was foiled by Bree's hard and fast rule: don't date athletes, ever. Cade loathes the media, so dual POV. That's pretty typical with romances from what I'm finding. Anyway, well, a lot of romances. Oh, whoa. I don't know what happened there. Okay, Cade loathes the media, and for good reason. When his hard partying ways were exposed by a reporter who claimed to be his friend, the scandal rocked his entire family. Now reformed, Cade has put his life back together, and he has no interest in talking to reporters, least of all Bree Mercer. But when the pair is thrown together, despite their best efforts, their chemistry is undeniable. They can't seem to put the brakes on their feelings until their connection threatens Bree's reputation and Cade's hard-won redemption. Now they must decide if there is a place for love in their plans for the future. That actually sounds really good. And I've read Christian fiction before, or Christian romance fiction, but I've never read one where it's going to be, where the religion is going to be the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or, as a lot of people know, that organization as Mormon. So I've never read with that particular religion in it. So I think that will be very interesting. Sweet. Okay, let me see if this is on Amazon. Usually, like, everything is on Amazon. So, Perfect Set. And I think this one is part of a series. Perfect Set by Melanie. Here we go. Perfect Set by Melanie. Maybe it's not part of a series. At least it doesn't look like it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say, so maybe it's a standalone. But the paperback is $15.99. Wow, the audiobook's cheaper than the paperback. Audiobook is $15.82, but we're going with paperback, $15.99. So plus $15.99. Okay. Next up, I have All Her Little Secrets. Now, I've heard about this one before, and it's intrigued me, so I was very happy to see it on the library book sale. All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. This one says, Ellis Littlejohn seemingly has it all: an Ivy League law degree, a well-paying job as a corporate attorney in Midtown Atlanta, great friends, and a for-fun relationship with rich, charming executive who just happens to be her white boss. But everything changes one cold January morning when Ellis arrives in the executive suite and finds him dead with a gunshot to his head. Alrighty then. And then she walks away like nothing happened. Why? Ellis has been keeping a cache of dark secrets, including a small-town past and a kid brother who spent time on the other side of the law. She can't be thrust into the spotlight again. But instead of grieving this tragedy, people are gossiping. The police are getting suspicious, and Ellis, the company's lone black attorney, is promoted to replace her boss. While the opportunity is a dream come true, Ellis can't shake the feeling that something is off. Well, okay. Yeah. And let's see. When she uncovers shady dealings inside the company, Probably saw hints of that, but now her eyes are more open with her new position. Could be. Ellis is trapped in an impossible ethical and moral dilemma. Suddenly, Ellis's past and present lives collide as she launches into a pulse-pounding race to protect the brother she tried to save years ago and stop a conspiracy far more sinister than she could have ever imagined. So it sounds good. And I was intrigued when I first heard the synopsis on BookTube. So I've been wanting to pick that up for a bit. Okay. Moving on, let's see what this one will cost. All her little $14.49. All right. Next up, I think this is another one that I checked out from the library and then I returned it because I didn't get to it, but they evidently had surplus, and so now I have my own copy. And they also had this available in hardback, but I really don't mind the paperback because it's usually like much cheaper. Or in this case, it would have only been 25 cents cheaper, but it's still cheaper. So, that is The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson. So there's that. Okay. Stickers covering some of the synopsis. So, someone is shy and reclusive. A lonely librarian, June Jones. I'm betting she's the one that's shy and reclusive. She'd rather spend her time buried in books than venture out into the world. Okay. All right, here is where I can start. It says, but when her library is threatened with closure, June is forced to step out from behind the shelves to save the heart of her community and the place that holds the dearest memories of her mother. Joining a band of eccentric yet dedicated locals in a campaign to keep the library, June opens herself up to people for the first time since her mother died. It just so happens that her old school friend Alex Chen is back in town and willing to lend a helping hand. The kind-hearted lawyer's feelings for her are obvious to everyone but June, who won't believe that anyone could ever care for her in that way. To rescue the place and the books that mean so much to her, June must finally make changes in her life. And maybe in fighting for her cherished library, June can save herself too. The Last Chance Library. Okay, that sounds good from what I could read with the sticker covering it. So let's see what that one would cost. It's getting hot in here. Chance Library. All right, paperback is $13.99. Okay, I've got to turn the fan on. It's getting a little too hot, so half a second. The last paperback book that I have to tell you about is The Collector's Daughter by Gill. I like this cover as well. So, okay. This one says, I can actually read the whole synopsis on this one. It says, she is the daughter of the Earl of Carnarvon, brought up to make her society debut and follow it with a prestigious marriage. But popular and pretty Lady Evelyn Herbert has other ideas. First, she falls for a man her mother doesn't approve of. Then she accompanies her father to Egypt, leaving behind the world of etiquette and chaperones to work alongside archaeologist Howard Carter in the Valley of the Kings. In November 1922, the extraordinary happens when they discover the burial place of... Okay, I'm going to have a hard time saying this, but I think it's supposed to be King Tut, is how we hear it. Tutankhamun. I know I said that wrong. I know. Anyway, I think it's King Tut. So anyway, okay, so they find the burial place of this person, packed full of gold and inconceivable riches. Eve is the first to crawl inside, the first person to see the treasures in 3,000 years. She calls it the greatest moment of her life, but soon afterward, a string of tragedies leaves her world a darker, sadder place. Newspapers claim it is the curse of this individual, Tutankhamun. I don't know. Anyway, so the newspapers are claiming it's the curse of that person. Okay. Howard Carter says no rational person would entertain such nonsense. 50 years later, an Egyptian academic comes asking questions about what really happened in the tomb in 1922. And that visit unleashes a new chain of events threatening Eve's contented life, making her wonder if there could be some truth behind the stories of an ancient curse. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be King Tut. A novel of the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. I am going to look that up. And if I can hear a pronunciation for that. Okay, let's get Google up. T-U-T. A-N. Was a pharaoh, obviously. Also known as Tutankhamun. Born in Armenia, died in ancient Egypt. It does say King Tut. So, let's see. Probably King Tut, because a lot of us have trouble pronouncing the actual name. So, all right, let me see if I can find a pronunciation because I am curious. Pronunciation.
Tutankhamun.
Oh.
Tutankhamun.
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 Tutankhamun. That was wrong. Of course. That does not surprise me. Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun. Okay. All right. Oh, we're going to look up the price. Okay. All right. The paperback version for The Collector's Daughter is $12.79. Okay. All right, so those are all the paperbacks. Now we're into the hardbacks. And as I said, I have four hardbacks. So, get this bag out of the way. Okay, just going from top to bottom, no particular order. And this first one on top, this is going to be hard because it's going to have the library covering. So, I mean, maybe I could figure out how to take that off. I wonder, so that it's not so shiny. I don't know. I'll have to get scissors and mess with it. So, okay. Everything Must Go by Jenny Fran Davis. Let me try. Okay, so here's the cover without the ring light. Much darker, but but looks better. There we go. There we go. So here we go. Everything Must Go by Jenny Fran Davis. Okay. The synopsis, and the thing I like about the hardbacks with the library books is the synopsis is just right there. Don't have to worry about a sticker. Dear reader. Okay, so this is the character talking to us. Okay. Dear reader, when I was 16, I traded my prep school in Manhattan for an alternative boarding school in upstate New York's Hudson River Valley to make Elijah Huck fall in love with me. As is usually the case when one follows an up-and-coming feminist fashion photographer to a remote Quaker boarding school, I was in for a few surprises. These surprises were manifold. But they included rupturing my heart, stuffing everything I owned into a vending machine, and kissing a Marxist. I'm guessing is what that is. Never seen that word before. Okay, moving on. It says, here are the letters, journal entries, reports, and other sundry items from my first year at Quare. They tell a kooky adventure story, but also present an archive of a girl very much in progress. So here's how it happened, in all its urgency and all its absurdity. Okay, so it says... So it's journal entries. What did it say? Letters, journal entries, reports. Sweet. I like it when it's mixed media like that. So yeah, okay. So Everything Must Go by Jenny Fran Davis. Let's see what that would cost. Now we're looking at the hardback costs. So there is another book with the same title, Everything Must Go. And that one is by Camille Pagan, but I'm looking for the one, here it is, by Jenny Fran Davis. So a different author, same title, Everything Must Go. The hardcover, now this is interesting, the hardcover is less than the paperback. So the paperback on Amazon right now is $17.56, but the hardcover is just $12 even. So that's what we're adding, is $12. Okay, got that one in there. Next up, I have, by the same author as one of the paperbacks, You Say It First by Katie Cotungo. I don't know. Anyway, I know I'm saying that wrong. So that's the book. This one says, Meg has her entire life set up perfectly. She and her best friend, Emily, plan to head to Cornell together in the fall. She has a sweet boyfriend, and she works at a voter registration call center in her Philadelphia suburb. But everything changes when one of those calls connect her to a stranger from small town Ohio. Colby is stuck in a rut, reeling from a family tragedy and working a dead-end job. The last thing he has time for is some privileged rich girl preaching the sanctity of the political process. So he says the worst thing he can think of and hangs up. But things don't end there. The night on the phone winds up being the first in a series of candid, sometimes heated, always surprising conversations that lead to a long-distance friendship, and then slowly to something more. Across state lines and phone lines, Meg and Colby form a once-in-a-lifetime connection, but in the end, are they just too different to make it work? It says this is a propulsive, layered novel about how sometimes the person who has the least in common with us can be the one who changes us the most. So, yep, You Say It First. Okay. All right, let's look that one up. Oh, looks like there's a book by the same title. Okay, paperback is $10. Hardcover, $11.29. Okay, so adding $11.29. Okay. All right, last two books in this library sale book haul. This next one is called Nothing Left to Burn by Heather Ezell, I'm guessing is how you say the last name. So that is the cover. Young adult. These other two were both young adult, I think. I think all the hardbacks are young adult, so, okay. Nothing Left to Burn. This one says, the autumn morning after 16-year-old Audrey Harper loses her virginity, she wakes to a loud, persistent knocking at her front door. Waiting for her are two firemen, there to let her know that the moment she's been dreading has arrived. The enormous wildfire sweeping through Orange County, California is now dangerously close to her idyllic gated community of Coto de Casa, and it's time to evacuate. Over the next 24 hours, as Audrey wrestles with the possibility of losing her family home, she also recalls her early, easy summer days with Brooks, the charming, passionate, but troubled volunteer firefighter who enchants Audrey, and who is just as enthralled by her. But as secrets from Brooks' dark past come to light, Audrey can't help but wonder if there's danger in the pull she feels, both towards this boy and toward the fire burning in the distance. Alrighty, Nothing Left to Burn. Alright, let's look that one up. Okay, there's at least a total of 3 authors that have a book by the same title. Alright, Nothing Left to Burn. Here we go, by Heather Ezell. Hardcover is $7.99. Cost of a paperback is not available. So, plus $7.99. So it might not even be out in paperback, or you're not able to pre-order or whatever. It just has a dash. So, okay, the last book in this haul is called Curses by Lish McBride. I'm intrigued by the cover. Gives me very much kind of like Beauty and the Beast vibes, where in the beginning of the animated Beauty and the Beast scratches his self-portrait, except it's a female character here. So, okay, a run-in with a fairy godling and her betrothal ball left Merritt Caravan with more than any fireborn noble could want. Wealth, intelligence, and the kind of beauty visage that makes children weep. Now Merritt has until her 18th birthday to break the fairy's curse. This sounds like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Okay, so I got that from the cover, but it definitely sounds like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Okay, and every day she loses a little more of herself to the animal she's become. And because she picked one unsuitable boy. Tevin Demont has nothing except a fairy gift of charm, an exceptionally handsome face, and 2 siblings he's trying desperately to protect. As the oldest son of a family of con artists, he's learned how to use what he has to his best advantage. He'll do anything to keep his siblings safe. So when his mother runs afoul of the beast of Cravan, Tevin doesn't think twice. He'll pay his mother's debt, even if it means taking her place. With her birthday looming, Merritt has to find a match, but she's terrified she'll make the same mistake as before. Then she meets Tevin and realizes there's no one better to protect her from an unsuitable match than the most unsuitable boy of all. Can Tevin help her break the curse, or is she doomed to be the Beast of Cravan forever? Definite Beauty and the Beast retelling. So, curses. Okay, let's look that up, and then I've got to log all of these into Goodreads and then put them away. So, curses by Lish, there we go, Lish McBride. Okay, hardcover is $12.99. There's not even an option for paperback, so $12.99. Okay, so the cost of all 14 of these books, before tax, before any shipping, before tax, is $181.34. So, minus the $4 I actually paid, this saved me $177.34 at the minimum, obviously before tax. And when I buy them from the library, there is no tax. So $177.34 is what that saved me. Yes, love that. Okay, so that's going to be it for this haul. Let me know if you have read any of these books or books by any of these authors. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.